I'm Ann Ramsey. I'm Executive Director of Project READ Literacy Network Waterloo-Wellington. We're a regional literacy network in Ontario that covers 2 counties in southwestern Ontario. And we're one of 16 literacy networks, and the whole focus of my job is collaboration and networking. In fact, I can't move without bumping into people. I can't do anything, no project, no initiative, nothing without collaborating. So in sort of doing that, I started to take a look at and kind of start to analyze what is it that partnerships are made of. And I've always been interested in group dynamics, so this is sort of what brought me to doing this workshop. I also do a lot of workshops on my own through Learning Tree Consulting, and I have certificates in adult and continuing ed from the University of Victoria, voluntary management from University of Guelph, and a volunteer management certificate from Conestoga College. And I also am program manager for the Teacher of Adults Literacy Educator program at Conestoga College. So that's a bit about me and where I'm coming from. But I'm more interested in you, and that's a good thing about partnering, being interested in the other people. I'm crazy enough to think we might have 5 in common things. So I'd like people to just yell at me in a nice way. What were some of the in common things you have in your circle? And let's see if it's in common to the rest of us. Anybody want to?
Canadian.
Canadian. Is everyone Canadian? No? No? Not Canadian? Okay, so we'll put that as a unique. Other ideas?
Literacy.
Literacy. Is everybody involved in literacy in some way?
Yes.
Hey.
Or at least that's important.
Literacy. Another one.
We're all overachievers.
Overachievers? I heard that from several tables. I would call it perfection. But overachievers? In here? Is that okay? Sure. We mean that in a positive way. Okay.
Friendly.
Friendly?
Yes.
Friendly?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not
Friendly.
Put it outside.
But if we kick her out, we all.
That wouldn't be a very friendly thing to do.
Okay, we got 3. 2 more.
Yeah, we all want to build partnerships.
Do you want to build partnerships?
Yes.
Build partnerships. Whoa, we're so good. One more.
We all have a sense of humor.
I'm sorry, that one takes. Anything else?
We all volunteer in some capacity or like do some sort of volunteering.
Do we all volunteer in some way?
Yes.
Community,
All the time.
family?
Yeah.
Is that a yes? Am I saying yay! So even within this group, we managed to find 5 things that we have in common. And that's really, I hope you can kind of see this. I can move it around. You're going to hear me say a lot of similar messages throughout the hour. Shared philosophy, which is our in common stuff. Trust and commitment. These are the 3 pillars of partnership. It doesn't matter if you're starting off with info sharing or moving up the ladder into full-blown collaboration. And I'll define those parts of the ladder shortly. So I'm hoping that you came to learn sort of these outcomes, that you'll leave with a bit more information, that you'll be clear about the successful elements of partnership, and hopefully you'll be able to share some. So, show of hands, we're going to do a bit of a scale. I'm a partnership newbie. I haven't done that many partnerships. Okay. I'm a partner in training. I've done a fair amount, but I could do more. In between. Or I'm a pro, and I'm so damn tired I can't partner anymore. No, sorry. I'm a partnership pro. Done it, been there, got the t-shirt. Okay, so most of us are somewhere in the middle. Sort of on that scale. So that's good. So we've got lots of experience to draw upon and certainly tips to get from one another. Now, I don't actually like to lecture a lot, but with an hour, there's not a lot. And I'm an info junkie, and I want to pass that on to you. So So I'm going to do some lecturing, but we are going to do another activity, and I will leave some time at the end for questions, because Catherine, the timekeeper, is going to help me. So I like this definition because it talks about companion and dancing, and I don't know a better visual than companion and dancing for partnership. You know, you've got to, there's nothing like somebody stepping on your feet. You've had that happen, I'm sure, in a partnership. You're going along, okay, move the hips, la, cha-cha-cha, and all of a sudden, crap, you know, and you get a rib in the sock, you know, elbow in the ribs, or you get somebody stepping on you. So it's very much about that. And we're going to come back to the shared risks. That comes up again and again. And the sharing of power, another really primary part of partnerships is the sharing of power. At the pinnacle, you have full-blown collaboration in which you're equally sharing power amongst the partners, whether that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. So that's a defining element. So here they are, the levels of partnership. And you'll see sometimes they'll have 5 rungs on the ladder, but usually it's 4. So all of us probably do consulting or networking. It's, you know, sometimes you might see info sharing below that. Very informal. You know, we meet at the conference. Oh, I'm interested in this, you're interested in that. We exchange some info. Then sometimes you move on to coordination and contributing. You know, that might be an advisory committee. They're contributing to what you're doing. It could be that you're trying to coordinate your services with somebody else. Well, we're going to offer this, and how does that work with you? If you do any kind of, in Ontario, we do a lot of service planning, literacy service planning. We're often bobbing around this level. Cooperate and participate. Okay, you're moving up the ladder. It's more integrated, takes more time, but you might be cooperating on offering a particular program or doing an event, a special event. And then at the pinnacle, very few are true collaborations. I hear these words, partnership and collaboration, thrown around all the time. Oh, we have 3 billion partners. Are you kidding? Can you date that many people? Excuse me, I think they're probably down here at the networking level. You know, but we love to use that word. But today, when I'm talking about collaboration and partnership, I'm going to talk more about this higher level. We're all familiar with the lower levels, so let's talk about what defines the most integrated, full-blown collaboration. Oh, and please, if you have any questions, just put up your hand and we'll stop and discuss it. So here's the 4 key elements of partnership. And it doesn't matter what partnership you're in, they will always be present. And you'll see this come up again later on in the presentation. So it's shared decision-making, degree of risk, while you are, again, in a full-blown collaboration. There's equity amongst these. So we're equally doing the decision-making and engaging in that. We're equally sharing in the risk. We might be risking different things. You may be responsible for different things, but there's an equity, an understood equity amongst the partners about what you're investing, right? Communication. That has to be present, and it's sometimes the one that can get you into the most trouble. You know, it's just like a marriage. If you're not communicating, then he doesn't come home with the milk. You know, if I don't say we need milk, he's not gonna buy psychic, you know, imagining my husband will not come home with the milk. So these are really the 4 key elements. So when you reflect back on your partnerships, I'm sure you'll be able to see and say, okay, yeah, I can see where maybe that one broke down. It was in this area. Not sure we had equal responsibilities or what we perceived to be equal responsibilities. And again, you could have, you know, if we go down the ladder, you could be responsible for different amount of things if you understand it to be a coordination effort, if you understand it to be a consultation effort. See what I mean? So it doesn't mean every partnership has to be a full-blown collaboration, but certainly at the pinnacle, you're looking for equity amongst those 4 elements. So benefits, I'm sure many of you can think of benefits. I mean, what I like is that, you know, 2 heads, 3 heads, 4 heads are better than 1, and certainly bring more resources to what you're doing. And certainly in speaking to another partner, I often find when I've got this idea and I'm going to go to my colleagues and say, well, how about we do this? It's in the explaining that comes much more clarity. So the fact that I have to communicate it to other people, all of a sudden that's making it more clear to myself as much of it as it is to the perhaps interested parties. And that doesn't matter, again, whether I'm looking for a full-blown collaboration or in fact I'm looking for more an advisory role or a consultation role. It certainly can increase your power and influence in the community. The more you become a good partner, the more people want to partner with you. And you spread your influence by that method. Because people look and say, geez, I want to get on that bandwagon. Or you partner with a larger organization or maybe a more visible organization, and their cachet kind of rubs off on you. So whether that's a special event or a program, that could be an advantage. You can rub elbows. It certainly enhances your overall communication capacity within your organization, because you really have to concentrate some efforts on, are we communicating efficiently and effectively with all of our partners all the time? And it is a very constant thing. So I'm sure you've heard these. Oh, that yellow one's kind of blinding, isn't it? Well, I'll just keep that up there driving you crazy. That one says what's in it for us on this big blinding yellow one. We're not ready. What are the risks? I don't trust them. Trust, see, it comes back to trust. Whether that's a trust in the personal person, and sometimes you start with those personal relationships and you work outward to do a partnership. I've been told to attend. I can't commit any resources. And we'll talk about that autonomy and authority balance. So many times, take a look at that reticence. Is it legitimate? Maybe it is. Maybe this isn't the time to partnership. Or maybe that's not the party or the group to partner with. So, or are these objections things that we need to take a look at and say, well, okay, we are too busy, but this event is important, so we're going to push back the timeline, and we're still going to partner. There's nothing wrong with reticence. It's analyzing that and seeing whether there's a legitimacy to that. And I'll come back to philosophy again and again in this presentation. I can't tell you how much it counts. Usually when things break down, they break down because people don't, it sounds so mamby-pamby. Oh, we have to share philosophy, let's have a group hug. But it really is. If you don't, let's say Jim and I are trying to partner, but we have very opposite views about, maybe we're trying to make a new program for learners, male learners who have been affected by the recession. Maybe they're all older workers, 45 up. If we have a very different perspective on those people, it will eventually come out in the practical ways, but really what's driving that dissension is our mixed philosophy. The fact that he may view men over 45 who've been laid off in a different way than I do. So you do have to talk about philosophy. You have to get it out on the table. Do you each have, even within literacy, do you see literacy as a social empowerment? Do you see literacy as a means to an end to a means? How do you view literacy? So having those discussions. And I want to mention the accountability and autonomy. This is another one. How many of you have had the experience where you've gone to a meeting, you're ready to make decisions, get involved, and the one person at the end of the table saying, no, I have to check with 500 people before I can commit those paper clips. You're like, oh, Lord, heaven, do I have to come back to another meeting? So everybody needs to have equity in the accountability and autonomy they're coming with. And it's fine if the person can't commit the paper clips, but maybe if you want to forge ahead with this partnership, somehow you need to diplomatically say to that person, we need to have management level here, or we need to have frontline worker level here, whatever it is, whatever's appropriate for the partnership, the program, the entity, whatever you're going to be doing, so that everybody can make the same sort of level of commitments at the same time. It will help move your partnership forward. And vice versa, if you have one person who can make all the decisions, but the others who don't have the autonomy and the accountability from their agencies, you can have one person try to drive maybe too much the partnership. So again, it's that equity that helps with the autonomy and accountability. So purposes, they all